Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2014 Thrilling 30 Leader Class Jetfire figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're then going to have a look at the abundance of accessories that come with him to see how you can use these to help and aid his display in both modes. You can also see if yours is complete when I show you all the ones that he has actually got. We'll also do some comparisons with him and his original Generation 1 self. And as I'm making this video in 2022, we can also have a look at how he compares with the newest version of himself. So quite a bit to get in with this video, and I'm also going to do something slightly different as well. I'm going to do an additional mini review at the end of the video because obviously times have changed, and I just want to give you, I suppose, an update and an honest opinion of just how bad this figure has unfortunately weathered in the 8 years that he's literally only been sitting on a shelf in my display room. So I'll do that at the end. I don't want to take anything away from the review just yet, but I'll pick out all the points and show you all the things that I've found that have been quite negative with him if you're after one now. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to do some first impressions first and foremost, and do you know what, for the time it's a pretty good figure. We've got the head sculpt there, which is a lovely homage to the cartoon Skyfire sort of head. It does rotate all the way around. It does get quite loose as well, funnily enough, and I suppose that's to allow the space for the mask, which I'm going to attempt to clip on in a second. We've got good articulation. You can hear mini ratchets in the shoulders. You can see we've got bicep flexion. We don't have any waist flexion. We do have hips, sort of. It's quite hard. They are on latchets. They do go side to side. You've got a knee rock. You've got an ankle tilt rather than a rock, to be honest, but I suppose for its time it's a detailed and it's a good figure, and I do really like it. And I suppose in one way the figure itself is, I suppose, maybe standing the test of time. The colour of it lets it down, and again I will come to that in a second. Let's have a quick look at all the accessories then, just to help you know if yours is complete. So we've got this giant backpack. We've got lovely chrome on here, and this is, make sure that it's got this attachment there. This means that you can attach it to the back, and of course, as you can see, you can swivel it up or down. Again, I've got quite bad chrome damage on all of this. Bearing in mind, again, it's not been used, it's not been played with. It just seems to not have weathered over the course of the years very well at all. We've got a blaster that comes with him. Again, we've got this lovely chrome. We've got the missile that comes with it, and to be honest, let's just press it. That's not too bad. There's a little bit of venom in that. I'm just going to put that back into there for now. We've got the mask, which sometimes comes on the figure, and there's actually a little visor inside as well. This can come out, and unfortunately for me, again, it has come out. I'm just making you aware of this. Then we've got some more armor, which again, you've got two are the same. Ensure they're not cracked around there. This is where the landing gear comes out, and of course make sure your dowels are all intact so you're able to locate them. And then you've got some smaller guns as well. Again, I'm going to be showing you in detail in the last part of the video how to attach all these and to power him up. One last quick look at the actual figure then. We've got this lovely faux chest piece there, lovely translucent plastic, great use of the Autobot logo, lovely chrome on his face, which I've pointed out. And again, you've got some genuine wheels that spin around there for landing gear. Quite a big hole obviously in the back of the legs, and there of course is the real nose piece at the front and cockpit. And again, you can adjust these wings however you want to. I'll be talking about the nose cone in the added bit at the end as well, because that's not weathered, and I'll tell you what's up with it later on. Right, let's have a quick look at him then in his alternate mode, and then we can power him up with all his armor as well. Okay then, we're back. He's in the alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on camera. This will be uploaded in a separate video due to how tricky it is, and of course not wanting to break the figure. Right, here we've got the beautiful alternate mode, and again, this is stunning. I love this alternate mode. It looks so good, and even on its own with no accessories, it still looks very good. The jet mode is based on a navalized F-22 Raptor with F-14 Tomcat-like variable geometry wings. You can move these in and out. You can also do the same with these at the back, and the rest of it is all fixed and secured into all of this under here. You can see quite bad yellow fade in there, but obviously if this was a new toy you wouldn't notice that. These are the wheels that I was on about. They rotate fully, and you've got some landing gear here as well if you've got the fingernail, there we go, to pull it out. Right, I'm going to do a very quick comparison with the standard G1 figure, which hasn't got any of the armor on, just to give you a quick comparison. And I'm not going to take this guy out of the box either, so you can see there next to him just where they've got the homage from. Lovely with the red stripes, lovely detail on it. Again, just a great figure. But the figure that I've got in my hand as well is also very good, and we could now have some real fun powering this guy up. So there's so many different ways and combinations that we can do this. So let's go first and foremost with this back piece, which I mentioned. Make sure you've got this on. This is first and foremost is going to attach via these two tabs into the roof there. So you've got some cutouts. Let's fold these down and let's pop these into position like so. That's sitting on there looking really good. That's the first part. Then you've got a couple of weapons. So the difference, as I think I pointed out the first part, is this has got a cutout there for the landing gear to go through. You could still, if you wanted to, you could still attach this to the underside of the wing like so. It would still go, but it just doesn't look as good because you've got all this excess bit and it's all hollow. So it doesn't look good because it's hollow, whereas if you get the standard gun, even though it's hollow underneath, you can't really see too much. So we can attach that to the wing there, and then we can pop this. I'm going to put it lightly because it took me forever to get it off. Over there, it does slot in, and again the landing gear wheel will come through. I'm just going to rest it there for now. I'm not going to push it all the way down again because I'm going to be taking it off and on for this video. In a second, I'm also going to show you how to combine all the weapons to make a giant gun, which you can do as well. Brilliant little another gimmick with this figure. And in honesty, I'm a little bit sad, as I say, that I never really played with this. One of the main reasons I never played or had a go with it when it came out is because everybody was worried about this bit here breaking and damaging, etc. And I suppose, again, these are toys and they should be played with. And wow, that's just clicked in no problem. And again, look at it now. It's starting to look incredible. So from the underside, you can see that there. We can then even take the standard gun. This is going to attach under the nose cone here, like so. Let me just pop that in. This is quite stiff. I don't want to push it all the way in. In fact, what I'm going to do before I push it all the way in, this again is another little bonus thing that you can do. You can take the visor like so, make sure that it stays in place. And if I show you on top of the gun here, there's like two grooves. There they are, ridged into that there. So you can take this visor, and I'm going to try and get this right. So let's turn this over, and I've got to really watch the glare with you guys. There we go. That slots over the top. This can also be held as well when he's in robot mode. But now if I pop this underneath, oh, it's quite stiff. There we go. I mean, look at that now for a powered up mode. Brilliant. Loads of armor, loads of things going on with it there. You've got all of the weapons underneath, and again, glistening, great use of the chrome. Right, what else you can do? We're going to take this front gun off. I'm going to take all of the, I'm going to leave the back panel off, I'm going to take these out. Again, be nice and careful. Again, I've only took these out once, and I found that it took the paint or some of the chrome off instantly, only from taking it off once. One thing is, I suppose, once they're in, they don't want you to take them off at all. Right, there we go, we've got them off. Now watch this. This is brilliant. I love this. This totally reminds me of Japanese G1 figures where you could do exactly this. Take weapons and combine them all. So we've got cutouts, or say holes, either side of this. So if we then take the landing gear, larger guns, and if we attach these first into there, you've then got your hole on the side. Excuse the reflection of the landing gear side. Oh, I just fired the missile by accident. I'll find it again. There we go. So you can see that this is taking shape. We can then attach this here. And of course, you know, there's no reason why he can't hold this in robot mode as well. You've still got the handle for his hand if you wanted to. And of course, you could do it the other way around. But this now fits underneath here as well. And oh, I keep firing that. I've probably lost it now. Right, there we go. And where did it go? I'm gonna have to find that in a second, but there we go. We've got this large, huge giant weapon at the front. And I suppose it's up to you however you want to display it. You can see the chrome really pops, and it really does make this figure, I keep saying it, look good for its 8-year-old self. Right then, I think that's enough of a detailed look at it in its alternate mode. We're going to come back into robot mode, do some comparisons, have a play around with all his armor, and again see how well he looks with it all on and off. Right then, so we're back in the robot mode again. Transformation process both ways, detailed with hints and tips, will be uploaded separately. I just needed to keep the length of this video down and make sure I was doing it nice and safely. What I'm going to do very quickly though, before we do the comparisons and all the armored up stuff, I want to show you some of the packaging. The packaging itself, as you can see, the box is huge compared to the figure, and I suppose this was maybe the start of Hasbro trying to justify leader class figures, because if you remember back in 2014 we'd had quite a lot of movie figures, and the leader class movie figures were huge. This box is, if I pan out just to give you an idea of how much bigger it is than the actual figure, you can see it's a good few inches bigger than the actual figure. So the box itself is huge. Let's have a look at it though, because it is really nice, to be honest. We've got this lovely artwork here, which again pans around a little bit to the side. Let's lift this up. Liking that. We've got the Thrilling 30 logo there that they used. This is figure number 21 of 30. We can already see on the back that we've already had it in the alternate mode. Now these don't look as chrome, to be fair, which is a bit like the Takara version. The Takara version has all the same accessories, but ironically enough has the normal, I suppose, matte or dead red colour rather than it being all metallic and shiny. There's a little bit of a bio or a write-up there. If you would like to read that, I'm going to say pause and you can read that now yourself. It's also saying there about the removable battle helmet, and of course the best thing about the Thrilling 30s is we've got a tech spec again. Right, let's carry on around. We've just got the normal Autobot logo, a picture of him there, and of course saying what he is. So that's the packaging. Again, it's lovely, but I've got to be honest, it is huge. Right, let's go to the robot mode then. So we did a comparison. In fact, let's do a comparison before we put all the armor on with his original self. So the face is totally different. This is one of the Valkyries, so this is one of the original figures. So this is pre-Transformers, and again you can tell where the homage is coming from. Slightly different color with this, and even with the visor, to be honest, when you put the battle visor on, it's a great homage to this figure. Size wise, it's pretty much about the same, as you can see. There you go. Right, now we're going to start to power this guy up, and then we'll do a comparison with the G1 figure. So this was the large gun that I just made. It's still there. I didn't bother breaking it down just because I thought, well, I might as well show you it, and we can pop it in his hand. Yes, I fired the bullet and I can't find it. I'll have a look properly in a second. So we've got this giant gun, which looks okay. You can display it, you can put it up. It doesn't even tilt him over. Look at that. He can handle the weight with this big figure. So let's start to power the rest of the pieces on. So we're going to take the mask. So let's take these out of his hands. I just keep finding it. Every time I put them in, they tend to stick. So we're going to attach the mask now over on the head like so. That all clicks into position nicely. So there we can see now with his battle mask, and I suppose his antenna as well, that's resting there, and it just gives him a totally different look again. And it's funny how they still do things like this, obviously, with the Siege version. Right, let's spin him round, turn this around. We're going to move the nose cone out of the way for now. Here is the backpack again, and it's up to you how you want to have it. You can have it with these thrusters sticking way up in the air, and then you can just close this over. To be honest, I think that's a little too high, and I don't really like the look of that at all. It's so high you can't even see it in the back. That's how much further it's coming up. It doesn't even fit in the camera. So what I'm going to do, fold the wings down, move the nose piece out of the way, and rotate this down, and then we can clip this back up. And I think, in honesty, that makes him look that little bit better. Right, what's going on with these legs? I think it's because it's stuck down. There we go. Let's click it into position. It's the feet, isn't it? The feet haven't come all the way down. There we go, that's better. Now they're even. That's a lot better. Right, so let's start to attach some of the weapons. we've got, let's break these off then. So we've got these which are going to be forearms, and we've got of course these which wouldn't over the landing gear, which is still visible. There's his gun, and let's connect these up then. So if we pop this over this side, I'm going to push it all the way in now because this is the way I'm going to be displaying it, and I'm not going to be taking it apart again. You can put these in his hands if you want as blasters, or you can of course put them on the forearm, which is where they're supposed to go. Let's move to this side, put the actual gun in his hand, put the one on the forearm like so, and put this one on the side, and click it all together. Right, there we go. There's what he looks like now. That's a big difference. This makes him look really, really good. And the ironic thing about this guy, funnily enough, as I say, is he's got the chromed pieces, where the Takara version has just the normal red colour. And then I suppose the main reason for that is, if we move this guy out of the way, is to match the same red from the Generation 1 figure. He's gone a little bit yellow, unfortunately, hasn't he? But you can see, again, the homage, you can see how good it looks. I think, do you know what? I don't think they make a bad Jetfire figure, do they? It's quite hard for them to do so. I'm going to attempt to get the Siege guy in now, to be honest, just to give you an idea of how big he is. So I'm already going to know I'm going to have to do this, pan out a little bit. And this is the Siege guy. And this guy, of course, now takes the mantle for the best Jetfire figure. There was a decent few third-party figures which I did see about, and I still like the Thrilling 31. This guy now, though, takes the biscuit. He's amazing. The shattered glass version of him is fantastic as well. And of course, I still love the Generation 1. Overall, they're great figures. I've got nothing else to say about it, to be fair. If you can hunt one down, then go for it. It's brilliant. What I'm going to do very briefly now, though, is just a very separate bit. I'm going to literally tag it straight on right now of things to be aware of. I normally do this as part of the normal video, but there's so many things, and I didn't want it to take or detract anything away from the review. So I hope you like the review of this figure. I think he's great. As I said, if you can find one at a reasonable price and in decent condition, definitely go for it. Even if you've got this one, it just looks good to stand them all together. Right, just stay tuned for the next couple of minutes while I do the things to look out for if you're after one for yourself. Okay then, here we go. These are things that you need to be aware of if you're after purchasing one of these for yourself, because again, this video is made in 2022 and this figure came out in 2013. I've already pointed out just how bad some of the yellowing is on this. I've decided just to take a couple of the pieces off because, again, when you take it off, the chrome comes off incredibly easy. Again, I had this on a shelf for about 8 years, hadn't touched it or played with it, and as soon as I just removed the pieces, a lot of the chrome came off. Granted, it is in the place which you can't see, but it's just, again, to make you aware. Now, when I turn his arm around, you can see how yellow it's gone in there really quite badly. A lot of this is stained. A lot of the yellow colouring you can make out through there under the hips. It's just not white. In fact, if I get this Jetfire next to it, now you can see just how stained, and I suppose unfortunately we know this happens with the white figures. It's just I didn't expect it to happen so soon with this particular guy. G1 Jetfire, yeah, fair enough, you know, 30 plus years old. This guy's not even 10 and he's really starting to weather quite badly. Other thing as well that I mentioned about this nose cone, you can see how sticky and clammy that is. For anybody who collects Generation 1 and they know what the Monster Pretenders or the Dino King Pretenders shells like, them rubbers, it's gone exactly like that. This is sticky, horrible residue. Yeah, it's just horrible. I don't even know how it's managed to do that, whether it's something with the oxygen in the air, I'm not too sure. It's just not nice. It's just, again, happened by itself. Some of the chrome, again, has just started to come off by itself. These have only been on display, and as I mentioned earlier, I only took the mask off ready to transform it, and this visor bit, just as you can see there, popped out. So there's quite a lot to be aware of, again, if you're looking to buy one of these figures, because I've seen some of them on eBay and they're quite high prices now. So if you're going to be spending, you know, some money on it, these are the things that you're going to need to be aware of. You can see how easy that comes out for yourself. So again, I want to help you guys. I don't want you to buy a figure and then it come to you and think, wow, it doesn't look good at all. So be aware of the yellowing, be aware of the fact that the chrome does tend to fade and come off quite easily. be aware of the sticky nose cone. And especially, even though I didn't mention it, I've mentioned it in the transformation video, all this part here, just make sure that it's fully intact, no cracks, no visible marks in it at all. Right, there you go. Sorry if it's long-winded, but I just want to keep an eye out for you guys and give you the best information possible. Thank you very much for watching this. Please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.